Good morning. Let's take a look and see what we're dealing with here. All right, so this is a system of equation. The question is, how do you solve it? Well, what you want to do is look for a variable that's by itself. In this case, you want to get x by itself, and you want to move the 5y over here. So you're going to get x equals 5y plus 7. You're going to take all of that. Don't go to the y, because this says x. So you want to go to the x. So it's going to be 2 times 5y plus 7y equals a negative 20. At this point, you're going to distribute. And now you're going to add like terms. You're going to move this over here, which becomes a negative 14. And when you add that up, you get a negative 34. So y is equal to a negative 2. There's one negative and this is a positive, so it's got to be a negative. So y is actually in the second spot. Let me make this a little smaller. Okay, so once you get to this point, you want to plug it in back to your circle. So 5 times negative 2 is negative 10. And then plus 7 is a negative 3. And you can check it. You can plug in your x and y and you should get 7. If you plug it in here, you should get negative 20. If it works in both, this is correct. Let's talk about today's work. Today we're talking about preparing a budget. So on a new sheet of paper, copy down everything you see here. Okay, so first of all, what is a budget? I want you to write on your paper, tell me what you think a budget is. Okay, now we're going to exchange papers and talk about it. All right. Let's pass the papers back. Let's say 1B. How does a budget affect you? Okay. Utilities. Copy down these definitions. The objective for today is to compute the cost of electricity, water, appliance use, and a break-even concept. We'll talk about that in a minute. Utilities are like your electric bill, your water bill, sewer and gas. Meter is something, it's a machine or a mechanical device or digital even that records the usage, how much electricity you actually used, and it's measured in watts. So a 60-watt bulb, if you burn it for 2 hours, it's 120 watts. Okay, here's some notation. Copy this down. This is kilowatt hours. Kilowatt is 1,000. Okay? You know the metric system, right? 1,000 watts, kilowatt hours. Gas is measured in cubic feet, and CCF is 100 cubic feet. Natural gas is called therms, like thermal. All right, copy this one down. February used this many hundred, so I guess you'd have to multiply that by 100, and this many hundred of cubic feet of natural gas or whatever it is, water. To find the usage, you would subtract. So you would take 3141 minus 3128, and whatever you get is your answer. Okay? Well, let's keep moving. This one right here, meter reading. All right, draw this. Now you always go to the lower number. Now if you look here, on this one right here, you're actually going to go to the 0. Okay? Now since this is swinging around here this way, 9 is actually lower than that 0. So that's a little tricky. So this one, 0 is lower than 1. It's like reading it backwards, okay? just always go to the lower number. So the lower number here is 0, but the lower number here is actually 9. Now I want you to go to page 661 at the bottom and read that meter, and then we'll talk about it. Don't worry if you get it wrong. You probably have never done this before. Just remember the lower number. All right, one more. Let's say you have a mixer and you use it for 1 hour and 30 minutes, right here. It's 10 cents for every kilowatt hour. Okay? So here you have 125 watts. And so you're going to do that times 2. So let's take a look at that example here. This is example 3 on page 662. So go to page 662. All right, so 90 minutes divided by 60 is 1.5 hours of use. Okay, so you're going to take 125 times 1.5, that gives you the watt hours. Now, since it's paid by kilowatt hours, you have to divide by 1,000, so you get that. And then you multiply by 10 cents. So this isn't even costing you but 2 pennies. Okay? That's how you do it. Today, we're not going to quite finish 11.1, but here's your assignment. So copy this down and start working quietly, and have a good day. Let's turn our attention now to 7th period. 7th period, you might say, well, how do I work this when I have decimal? Well, you could change it to a decimal. Like this one would be 0.4. This one would be 0.2. And that would be easier. Or you can just multiply everything by 5, since it's not a repeater. So you're going to get negative 5x, the 5's cancel, plus 2y is equal to the 5's cancel 3. Here you're going to multiply everything by 5 as well. And when you do that, you're going to get negative 5x, the 5's cancel. You're going to end up with plus y. Here the 5's cancel, and then minus 4. What you want to do is change the signs here. When you change the signs, those cancel. This gives you 1y is equal to 7. So y is equal to 7, and then you plug it in wherever you want. So if y is equal to 7, we're going to have it here. 2 times 7 is 14. We're going to bring the 14 over here. That becomes a negative 14, so that becomes a negative 11. Looks like you're going to get a decimal. So I'm going to get a negative 11 divided by a negative 5. And you can double check that one. Today you're doing this work right here, which is a review. Remember, your test is going to be from Wednesday to Sunday. Tomorrow we're going to do inequalities. All right, have a good morning.